Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gnome Show After Dark. You know when this shit is pumping. It's good. How's everyone tonight? So, Pacific Drive comes out in a couple of days. I'm really excited to jump into a new game. But besides Pacific Drive, which is coming so soon, there's also Fallout London that is coming in April. Oh yes, I cannot wait. Fallout London. Fresh, new territory, unfamiliar land. It's new lore, new monsters, new stuff to find, new Pip-Boy. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And then there's also another Fallout mod that I have stumbled upon. We'll get into that a little bit later. I've got a welcome viewer. How you doing today? Or tonight? Tonight. Yeah, it's still this one. Okay. So I've got a mishmash of items for you this evening. I've already done my dab. Grab your coffee or your drink. Grab your snacks. Grab your smoke. We're gonna be getting into it here. But to give a proper introduction, this is the Gnome Show. My name is Joshua. I'm your humble host. It is my duty, nay, my pleasure, to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror, and sci-fi, and really anything else that I think is groovy. I hope that you will enjoy tonight's offerings. Content for the Blood God. I feel like if I was gonna back a Chaos God, it would probably be Korn, because at least he knows what he wants. I mean, Nurgle is cool too, but I don't know. I'm not quite sold on Grandfather Nurgle. He is probably, I mean, they're all like the natural facets of the human psyche, but I feel like Nurgle and Korn are the most honest, but Slaanesh and Tzeentch are probably the most on the nose, the probable manifestations. Korn and Nurgle feel more natural, like they arose, just as anything would in a society. You would have entropy, decay, and disease, and you would also have rage and bloodlust and all that comes with that. And then it would slide into Slaanesh, because Slaanesh also, and it's weird, you would think Slaanesh and maybe Korn would work together, since they kind of, they're both excess type things, must have battle, must have tentacles, but who knows. But I'm definitely a Kornite. Although, no, definitely Korn. Nurgle would be number 2. Because Nurgle, that's entropy. You know what I'm saying? That's decay. That is a natural thing. It will happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, even to, like, the most long-lived species, it will happen eventually. Whether you start feeling the ennui of the ages, you know, where you just don't want to be anymore, or something inevitably catches you. Because you may be immortal, but you might not be physically immortal. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can still be killed. You just don't age. Oh, speaking of all of this, and this is why I'm specifically up in the 40k fields right now. I found a new channel called Full Moon Studios. We'll be checking out one of them. It's a parody site channel where it's if the 40k universe suddenly found itself in the Star Wars universe, like trying to join the Empire. It's pretty good. The animation, especially once he got his feet up underneath him, is really good. It's like 3D with the cell shade and the rotoscoping type stuff over time. It's really nice. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit as well. It's funny. I almost couldn't stop myself from watching all of them back to back. I did watch quite a few of them. Yeah. So we'll take a look at that as well. First off, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I hope you're ready for the week. Tomorrow is the start of my work week. Hope everybody is productive, profitable, or at least happy. You know what I'm saying? I hope your week isn't bad. So grab your tools, whether it be a bowl or if you're going to get a dab ready. I've already had mine, but I do have a bowl pack that I'm going to be packing here in a minute. So if you want to get yourselves ready for the... I don't know if I'm going to be playing any Fallout tonight. Depends on how late we run. But who knows? We'll see. But yeah, get your party goods ready. At some point, I'm going to be probably see about getting Elden Ring. I don't know. I might be able to get through that game through Game Pass, but I might also get it through Steam. It depends. But really, other than I mean, I already have Pacific Drive ready to go. That's already. I even think I even preloaded it. But Fallout London is the next one that I'm going to be purchasing. I think my cousin's gonna get it too, and he only ever plays Fallout 4. Like that's the only game he ever plays. But because he can get it on his Xbox One, he's gonna be getting it too, and I'm excited for him. Okay. So, now that our introductions are good, let me go ahead and chop that out. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, for our for our first film tonight, we're going to be looking at something by AFNB Pictures. Oh hell no, a horror story. It's a short. It's only 2 minutes long, but that kind of fits our time budget tonight. So, let's boogie, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Joshua, your humble host, and it is my duty, nay, my pleasure, to bring you, or to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog and horror, and sci-fi, and anything else that I think is groovy. I hope that you'll enjoy tonight's offerings. On with the show. Up first is Oh Hell No, a horror story by AFNB Pictures. Man, really struggling this evening. Yes. All right. I have that shirt. The Mario shirt. Bro. First your walls, now this. I guess this was first before the walls started talking to you. Or is this when the walls started talking to you? I mean, you know that's not something you should be going to check it out. You should be just like, nope, no, I'm walking out. I'll come back when in a couple hours. Oh hell no! I see what you did there.
Hell no.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm on outside shit.
Man, I know they got me fucked up staying up in this 1408 ass apartment, man. Where my keys at? Call the landlady in the morning, man. I am moving the fuck out.
Yes, sir. Fuck yeah, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so like that was a really good one, sir, because you got me to say the motherfucking you got me to say the thing, and that was reactionary. So fuck yeah, man, like very well done. Go ahead and give this guy some love over at AFNB Pictures. Like, subscribe, and share, everyone. I love you all. Be safe, happy, and healthy. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm sorry. I've had caffeine just recently, and I'm kind of like misfiring everywhere. Yes, and I go back and hit the caffeine. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. So, this is a teaser for a new short film, Channel X, from AFNB Pictures. Let's check it out.
You've all been loyal so far. And for that, I thank you. But this is just the beginning of this nightmare.
Sir, if your toilet starts talking to you, man, you should definitely fucking run.
Now, you've witnessed the horrors that can take place in the bathroom. You witnessed the boogeyman hiding in the stranger's closet. Bump in the night when you turn the lights off. You've also witnessed the father stained in his son's blood, all in the name of family.
Oh, yeah. So there has been a loose continuity to all this. This is pretty fucking cool.
You were introduced to a new brand of homeland terror in the form of the Blacklights.
So I'm not the only one that's had things going on in the background. Nicely done, sir.
But now I'm going to take you on a trip. A trip to the darkest side of the web. You know, YouTube can be a very scary place.
Sure can.
Allow me to prove it to you.
Okay.
Welcome to Channel X.
Oh. Jacob's Ladder type stuff. Yeah, Jacob's Ladder type shit right there. Yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. Get it. As I said before, go check them out. AFMD Pictures. Like, subscribe, and share, gentlemen, ladies, everyone, all of you. All 1,040 something of you now. Welcome. Hang on. It's just starting. Have a good day. All right, that was pretty cool. Next up, we have, I stumbled across this earlier today. I think this is this is Team Fallout London. Oh, okay. Let's see. Later on this week, we're going to be looking at some stuff from Tex Moon. I kind of blanked on him, on his stuff a while back. Like I have some stuff from, but like it was mostly with my earlier streams, I think. I might have some, but we're gonna check back into this with the White Door Open series. It was just later in the week. I've got so much, so much. All right, so that we can put. Sorry, just doing a little bit of cleaning on the desktop. Okay, so it's not lagging so much. I love Firefox, I really do, but sometimes it's a little bit resource hungry. But I like it better than everything else. So, now that I've waffled about enough, let's check out Fallout London, the final progress video for 2024. And this is from Team Fallout London. So I'm super happy about that. Let's boogie. Actually, could do the cold open. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Josh, your humble host, and it is my duty to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror, and sci-fi, and anything else that I think is groovy. Hope you'll enjoy tonight's offering. On with the show. Fallout London, Final Progress Video 2024. Yes.
Greetings, it's me again. Letitia here with another Fallout London update video. Before you get all confused, to the update to round off last year.
Sorry. Stop it.
Here for us. But stay tuned, you'll find out some news that you've not heard yet. Welcome back to Old Blighty.
Sorry.
Now, let's keep things short and sweet this time, so I'll pass you straight on to Bonhart.
Bonhart here from the voice acting team, speaking on behalf of the PR team, because many of you commented on our last video, slightly confused by the huge numbers and what the word cell actually meant. Well, it's simple really. Our world is made up of cells. A cell refers to a level or location in Bethesda's game engine. As much as an interior level is a single cell, a world space is made up of a collection of cells. We are clarifying this to give context to this list in respect to exterior world spaces. So when we say we have 150 exterior cells, we mean something a bit like this. And considering this tiny little dot
awesome.
here is the player, you can really grasp how big a single cell is. So when we say there's 3,764 of them spread over 15 boroughs, you can really feel how big the world actually is. The boroughs are diverse and detailed, with areas each having their own distinct feel. detailed recreations of many traditional London landmarks can be encountered, along with newly developed areas fitting with the Fallout universe and the vision for Fallout London. We are happy to say that Fallout London is indeed meticulously detailed, teeming with creatures, and fully nav-meshed, truly pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the Fallout universe and Bethesda's game engine. Next up, some of you bombarded our comments about why we didn't show the weapons in detail, nor any of our collectibles. Well, there was simply too much to show. When it comes to weapons, many of these items are of course already accessible via our standalone mod for Fallout 4, but much more will be in the full game, so it seemed silly to show them again. One of Fallout's series staples has always been its collectibles. We decided to spice up the Fallout tradition with goodies like beer mats, gramophone records, comics, special books, and cigarette cards, with a whopping 123 comics of entertainment.
Nice.
With plenty to choose from, we're sure
look
that all
at him.
this effort will pay off when
What?
wayfarers feel right at home, fending off irradiated
What is that, like a
badgers with
European
web lead
badger?
whilst munching on some spotted dick. We hope this has cleared some of the burning questions for you all. I'll pop you over to Prilladog for a word about the release.
Have you ever found that during a game your ping has been terrible? There's an entire world out there, and yet it feels like you're stuck in Croydon. Private internet access helps you overcome these obstacles by letting you change your IP address to one of 91 countries and choose from all 50 US states, allowing you to gain access to websites and services from all over the globe. You can also use private internet access to get cheaper prices for games when switching regions on a VPN. Perfect for getting Fallout 4 cheaper, just in time for the mod's release. But this isn't just for gaming. It can be used for
Oh,
security
I planned
as
for
well.
that a long time ago.
Free Wi-Fi, like the kind you find at coffee shops or airports, are great because they're free, but also extremely open, leaving you vulnerable to having your personal information stolen. Private internet access safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel, shielding your digital life from the eyes of those that are looking to exploit your private information. And these guys are the real deal. They have a no-log policy that they successfully defended in court, which means they don't store any personal data about you, the person actually using the service. Private internet access is available for all platforms: Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Android, iPhone, and many more. And now, you can use one private internet access subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. Signing up for private internet access is risk-free, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and 24/7 customer support. Sign up for private internet access using our special link in the description to get 83% off and 4 months free, which comes out to $2.03 a month.
Hello, Prilladog here, the project lead. I know, we said 2023 and we didn't do it. If you've not seen the video explaining why, then click the link below and it'll take you right there. The long and short of it is that some of the global conflicts happening in the world today hit some of our team members quite hard, understandably dragging their focus away from the mod. But with careful reorganisation, we managed to get things back on track. But we hadn't tested as much as we'd like, so we chose to delay it until the 23rd of April 2024. So there it is in a nutshell. And like we said, we're sorry, but the 23rd of April is rapidly approaching and we'll be there with a mod we hope you'll be glad to play and we can be proud of. So until then, I'll pass you over to someone who's going to tell you about our voice actor updates.
Hi again everyone, Stansky here, going to tell you some of the things to do with the voice acting department. Not going to be waffling too much here, but I want to show you some of the great inclusions that we've got here for you within the mod. Some of you keen-eared viewers have seen that we've got an Irish policeman in our recent video, and that's right, it is none other than Call Me Kevin. He's been an absolute star and recently helped us out. It's great to have such a great supporter included in our mod.
Good, fully voiced.
Now if we have a
least
look at the
except
very
for the
important role
protagonist.
of Arthur, who is the leader of Camelot, he is voiced by none other than a very familiar Bethesda Games community staple, Gopher. Fallout London certainly contains some notable figures like the two doctors, Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker. Something to note about our voice acting department is that everyone comes from such a wide array of backgrounds. Some of those are YouTubers, streamers, as well as actual working professionals. And some of those names are none
I would
other than
love
Neil
to do some shit
Newborn,
like
Dan
this.
Bull, Tunnel Snakes Fool, Harrowpones, Pathetic Wolf, Voldemort, Anna Demetriou, and the simply talented boys from Squire, and we have many more that we are going to hold in store for you. Our voice actors make up the backbone of the project, and whilst it's always good to have little sprinkles of magic here and there, it's the sheer talent overall in the voice acting team that will
look
make
at that
Fallout
guy.
London what it is, truly driving home the story and narrative for you to enjoy. That's the VA section all rounded up, and now we're going to have a look at some 3D with Paul Warren.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Warren, and I've been recruited back into service to tell you all a bit more about the 3D department's work on the faction's outfits. I'll give you all a quick focus on each of their styles, beginning with the Gentry. The Gentry are styled as a group with an aristocratic and tenpenny vibe. They showcase a regal and decadent fashion sense that sets them apart from the rest of
Like
the
the White
London
Glove,
household.
White Glove
Members of the
Society.
Gentry
How you doing,
don
viewer?
finely tailored clothing.
Just to let you know, we're looking at Fallout London. This is their last update in 2024 before they release the game in April. So excited, can't wait.
Including three-piece suits, waistcoats, and silk cravats. Top hats, monocles, and fur-lined coats complete their ensemble, exuding an air of privilege and opulence, even in the midst of the apocalyptic turmoil. Camelot has their style in a nutshell. They dress as the post-apocalyptic Knights of London. They don regal and battle-worn attire that pays homage to the legends of the Round Table. Their clothing style is a blend of medieval and post-apocalyptic elements, embodying the
Looks
chivalric
really good.
spirit
I can't
in
wait.
a world gone
Oh
mad.
man, look how good the ghoul looks. Nice. Very nice.
The Vagabonds channel the iconic Peaky Blinders style, with a hint of post-apocalyptic flair. Their clothing is an homage to the classic 1920s era fashion, featuring tailored suits, flat caps, and suspenders.
Hell
Instead
yeah!
of razor blades hidden in their caps,
Good
they
fashion
carry
sense.
a sense of roguish charm that sets them apart.
Aye.
The Isle of Dogs Syndicate exudes an unmistakable aura of London mafia gangsters, reminiscent of the infamous Cray twins. Their clothing style is a blend of vintage charm and criminal swagger, perfectly reflecting the criminal empire they've built. The Tommies, as a faction, epitomize a post-apocalyptic tribute to the valiant soldiers of World War I,
Wow.
with a modern Fallout twist. Their clothing style combines the ruggedness of World War I British soldiers with the advanced
So
combat
somebody
armor
raided a
technology
museum or two.
found
How you
in the
doing,
Fallout
viewer?
series. The Pistols are Fallout London's punk gang. They flaunt a rebellious and edgy fashion sense that perfectly embodies their anarchic spirit. Their clothing style is a riot of vibrant colours, ripped leather jackets, studded belts and mohawks that scream defiance. Tattoos and piercings are their badges of
What's
honor,
up, brother?
while combat boots and
Checking
fingerless
out
gloves
Fallout
add a
London's
gritty
coming in
touch to
April.
their punk ensemble.
We did
Imagine the roundel.
we did watch your video just a little bit ago. Very nice. In a very awesome reactionary movie, I actually said the title. It was nice.
As one of London's scooter mod culture gangs. They exude a
And we
distinctive sense
checked out
of mod style
Channel X as
that
well.
harks back to the originals
Excellent.
in the 1960s. Their clothing is a nostalgic tribute to the past.
Yeah, it was right on
characterized
cue,
by
man.
tailored
Like I
suits,
was very
slim-fit
pleasantly
trousers, and parka
surprised by it.
jackets. These mods ride scooters adorned with mirrors and headlights, adding a touch of elegance to the post-apocalyptic landscape. They really delve into the retro cool aesthetics in Fallout London. Miller's Men The hard-hitting skinhead gang of Fallout London sport a no-nonsense
Oh,
and street
an immediate
smart
enemy.
fashion style.
Lovely.
Their attire consists of shaved heads, work boots, and suspenders, echoing the classic skinhead look. These tough individuals favour slim-fit jeans and plain white t-shirts or button-down shirts, projecting a sense of working-class pride. Miller's men and their fashion embody a fusion of rugged aesthetics and a subculture with a history all its own. The Jack Tars, the historical British Navy gang in our version of London, proudly wear the uniform of the Royal Navy. Their clothing style is a throwback to the golden age of the British Empire, featuring crisp white sailor shirts.
I was always disappointed that we didn't get to do more with the. I think was it the Enterprise, the floating ship that we got off the ground and it crashed into another building. I was very unhappy. That's all we could do with that. I would very much like to have had my own airship.
Navy blue bell-bottom trousers and traditional sailor hats. These uniforms are adorned with authentic insignias and badges, showcasing their dedication to naval tradition. With the Jack Tars, you'll experience a rich slice of history and maritime culture, really bringing a nod to the seafaring days of yore in this unique Fallout mod. The hooligan style is quite simply that of a raider and football gang. They truly embody that gritty and aggressive fashion sense. Their clothing style merges elements of rugged raider attire with the unmistakable look of British football hooligans. You'll see a sea of football jerseys, often tattered and stained with the sweat of battle, paired with worn-out combat boots. Scarves, often in team colours, are draped around their necks to signify their loyalty to the gang. Tattoos, face paint, and shaved heads are common, reflecting a no-nonsense.
I do like the helmet quite a bit.
Many of these assets were made by the Fallout
I like
London
the helmet
team.
that he's wearing.
Others were made by community.
The rest of it
members
looks a little
who
bit too
kindly
much
gave
like
us
Legion
permission
for
to
my
bring their
for my
mods
liking,
into our
but
world.
you know,
Full
like, I
credits
do
below.
like the nightly look.
I'll move you over to Letitia to round things up.
Oh, it's a ghoul
Thanks
too.
again, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed our top picks in our development update. Remember, this is only our top picks.
Can we play as
There
a
are
ghoul in
bunch
New
more
London
leaky
or
leaks
in
on
Fallout
our
London?
Discord or on our social media. As always, feel free to leave your comments and hatred in the comment section below. We publish new content as often as we can, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. I'm Letitia, and
not
as
Fallout
always,
1,
thank you
Fallout
so
London.
much for watching.
It's a
See you
giant.
again soon.
1 second.
Stay safe and remember, mind the gap.
Right there. It's fucking beautiful. I do need to play Fallout 1 and 2, but that is a whole nother fucking like state of mind that I have to be in for that game. It's like playing Wasteland 2 or 3. And I do remember the first Wasteland. Yes, 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 can't wait for it. Let me know what you thought in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Be safe, happy, and healthy. All right. So that was Fallout London, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, so we always hear about skinwalkers from like Western points of view or European points of view. But I think I might have found one that has a more accurate point of view. This is Truth of Skinwalkers, Stories from the Navajo Nation. Viewer discretion advised. I hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. And as usual, just look off into the distance if you want while I do the cold intro for YouTube. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Josh, your humble host, and it is my duty, nay, my pleasure, to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror, and sci-fi, and anything else that I think is groovy. I hope that you'll enjoy tonight's offering, content for the blood god. On with the show. Tonight we have Truth of Skinwalkers, stories from the Navajo Nation. Viewer discretion advised. For anyone with sensitive constitutions, this is for you. Let's boogie, ladies and gentlemen. Yo.
This is Skinwalker.
What the fuck?
Hello.
Oh, that's not natural.
What the? Watch its back start to stretch.
That might be just stretching its muscles. Alright, whatever. It's just weird looking fucking animals at this point. Yes, I'm human. Let me sit at the table. Oh, that's just aliens. Those are just aliens. That's... Okay, alright.
This one's gonna be a doozy for sure. Let me just
Sweet.
tell you that these are not
boogie.
skinwalkers. Everything you know about skinwalkers is a lie, except for the very few of you who actually kind of know what you're talking about. Now this video is going to be the first of my paranormal series, so there's going to be a lot more paranormal investigations, more stories, more talks about my experiences that I've had in the paranormal. So this first subject that we're going to cover is the Anagloshi, or best known as by everybody around the world as skinwalkers.
Yeah, if I'm going to hear about the lore of a people, I'd rather hear it from the people themselves. It's I'm entirely invested now. Yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Shaun and welcome to another episode of Shaun Clin's Shadow Productions. So this one's going to be a little bit different from my niche, but not really different from who I am. So this one's going to be a different segue into my paranormal side of my channel. So this is going to be the very first episode I'm going to be going over, and I have to say, I have seen a lot of misinformation out there about the subject I'm going to be covering. I've been traveling on the YouTubes, the TikToks, the Instagrams, and I've been seeing a lot of videos about how people try to tell stories about skinwalkers.
Here, for example, in this video, we see a skinwalker who has taken on the form of a man.
Oh, hey neighbor.
In fact, skinwalkers are basically wizards who've killed their loved ones.
Now, I know a lot of you out there have heard stories or even claimed to have seen a skinwalker in their lives. And I have to say that maybe like 80% of you are wrong. Let me explain. So, I know a lot of word has been spread across the United States, across all Turtle Island, and even the world about skinwalkers and the lores and the legends of it. And I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. They get some things right here and there, but I noticed that they miss a lot of stuff. And, I honestly don't blame them. It's a hot topic. They're not from these lands, and so they do their best to get what they can from Google and do the research online. And so I'm here to set the story straight. I know on our previous channel, Unearthing the Supernatural, we've kind of covered this subject a lot, but here I'm going to do it officially on my channel. So, where does the Skinwalker come from? Where does the Yanagloshi come from? Where do they hail? Where do they live? Hell, might even know what they eat. Just kidding. But Skinwalkers and Yanagloshis originate from the Navajo Nation. Hundreds of years ago, medicinal people used to go to our 4 sacred mountains that border the Navajo Nation. 2 in Colorado, 1 in Arizona, and 1 in New Mexico. Now these medicinal people would have to traverse the land very quickly to be able to do this ceremony within a couple days. So, the spiritual people taught these medicinal men how to shapeshift, how to turn into animals, how to turn into deer, how to turn into coyotes, how to turn into hawks. And so they use this power to be able to traverse the land for good, to do really good medicinal ceremonies, to be able to help patients. And in that old sacred way, they used to do this. But to be able to learn how to shapeshift was a very, very, very hard task and was not easy to do. So what people used to have to do, they used to spend years of their life learning the songs, going through ceremonies to be able to learn how to shapeshift into these animals. Now, there's a lot of people that were out there that were like, man, this is taking too long. I can't do this.
Oh, so they wanted to take the shortcut.
Now, when that happened, evil and darkness heard their voice as well, heard their prayers, searching for an easier way to do this. Darkness and evil said, come here. I know how to make you shapeshift real easy, but there's a couple things that you have to do to be able to obtain this power. So some people were just like, well, what do you have to do? There's certain steps and ceremonies you have to do to be able to learn how to shapeshift the way we do. First off, you have to sacrifice a loved one, an immediate loved one. Whether that be your lover, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, or your child, or your grandparents. Somebody that you love and hold close and dear to your heart. You'd have to take them out into the reservation.
There's the evil part right away.
You have to sacrifice them to be able to first step and to obtain this power. Now I know this is really dark, this is really gruesome, but this is the truth of how Yanagloshis become to be. So, there's some other steps that you have to take that I'm not going to actually disclose to you because a lot of that is very gruesome, and I'm not going to go into detail because a lot of it we're going to keep
People don't need that shit anyway.
But once you complete all these tasks, you're able to learn how to shapeshift into evil and darkness. Now, a lot of things that everyone seems to forget is where these skinwalkers come from. The Navajo Nation itself holds a lot of sacred power within its borders, and a lot of songs and ceremonies that tie into the mountains, the land, the sky, and its geological point where it's at. So a lot of times, if you were to be a skinwalker, you draw power from the natural landscape that you're at. Now, am I saying that there couldn't be a possibility of a skinwalker leaving the Navajo Nation? No. If they're really pretty high skilled enough to be able to leave the Navajo Nation, say go to the East Coast or learn how to shapeshift over there, use the mountain terrain over there and everything, yes, it's possible. But very, very unlikely. So what are some of the traits of a skinwalker? What are the things they can and cannot do? Can they turn into an elephant?
My question is like, I mean, yeah, unlikely, yes, but you didn't say no. I don't know. Like, it just seems like if somebody wants to do something, they will.
Yeah, maybe, but, you know, they have to go and hunt and kill an elephant, wear its skin, and do the whole ceremony. Yes, they can turn into animals. They can shapeshift into anything. Almost anything, really. But they would have to be able to kill the animal, skin it, mark it up with its markings and designs, put it through its own ceremonies and rituals to be able to prep it to be able to be worn and shapeshift into. Now, I've seen a lot of videos of people out there saying like their dog, you know, looks weird, or there's, you know, all these other things like a poodle or something small. To be honest, Skinwalker is not going to skin a poodle, put it on its back, and be able to shapeshift into it. It's possible, but, you know, it's going to be very hard to be able to shrink down to that size. Typically, the coyote, the buck, the wolf are the main skins that were readily available in the Navajo nations. So there's also the bear, the mountain lion as well, but those are sacred animals, and a lot of times those themselves could not be changed into the darkness, so you rarely see those being able to be used in Skinwalker regalia or outfit. Coyotes and bucks and deer were mainly the skins used because there were plenty of those in the Navajo Nation. For those of you out there who have seen videos of people hearing their voices being mimicked in the distance, yes, that is a true thing that actually happens. Another tactic that the Skinwalkers like to use is dog whistles. So for those of you out there that don't know, the Navajo Nation is a very rural area. Homes are very spread out. Your nearest neighbor is a mile to a half mile away. So you're kind of out there by yourself. And typically in the Navajo Nation homestead, you'll always have dogs, either sheep herding dogs or protection dogs. And dogs are very attuned to when darkness comes around. They're the protectors of the home. So late at night when you're by yourself in your hogan, there's no one around, and your dogs start barking in the middle of the night, but then they stop. You're like wondering, like, why did my dog stop barking? One tool that these Skinwalkers use is dog whistles. They use these whistles, or bone whistles more specifically. They use these whistles to be able to hush up the dogs, to be able to sneak in close to the home. And then they put these powders, they do these songs and these ceremonies to be able to put your animals and protectors to sleep. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone out there in the Navajo Nation knows, and if you're watching this, I'm sure you have stories of being home late at night, sleeping, and then you hear footsteps on your roof.
Oh, that's fucking creepy.
You hear rattles. You hear growls. You hear scratching on your door. For those of you out there, if you were to go to the Navajo Nation, I'm pretty sure about 90% of everybody on the Navajo Nation has experienced a Yanagloshi in their life. So, what are some of the weapons that the Skinwalker uses? A Skinwalker typically uses natural-based elements weapons. So, a Skinwalker is typically known as a grave robber or a Navajo witch, but there's a lot more to it. So typically a lot of the weapons are based off of natural elements. They're grave robbers. They go to cemeteries, they dig up bodies, they grab the bones, and if they're still decaying, sometimes they use the flesh. A lot of the flesh from the human bones and body can be used as poisons to be able to bring sickness onto the people. So they make bone knives, bone darts. They grind up the bones after they collect them to make this powder. And it is said that these Yanagloshis can paralyze you. It's another one of their powers that they have. They can come up to you and paralyze you, and you can't do anything about it. And they grab that ground up bone powder and they blow it in your face. And if you don't get a ceremony soon, that is a curse that is put upon you and you will die. It's very, very powerful. So everybody out there, be sure to watch out. So what other abilities do the Skinwalkers have? Other than
I chuckle, but still take it fairly seriously. Never discount the knowledge of another culture, ever.
Paralyzing you, they have incredible speed.
Because that's not the only place that I've heard things like this either. There are a couple different cultures that would do stuff like this.
As a lot of reports on the reservation of people driving on dirt roads going 50 to 75 miles an hour, or even 100 depending on what kind of road you're on. Not a lot of cops out there. But while these people are driving in the middle of the night coming back home from work or hauling wood, there were reports and signs of people running alongside their vehicles in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's fucking
And
creepy
the
too.
only thing that can run that fast and out there is a Yanagloshi. So who am I to talk about skinwalkers? Who am I to say what is and what isn't about a skinwalker? I know what a skinwalker is because we've dealt with them for many years. I've even had distant family relatives put on the skins and become a Yanagloshi. Couple ceremonies we've went out to families' homesteads to get rid of items of dead past relatives. And inside those items were Yanagloshi regalia, skins, antlers, weapons, bone knives, bones itself, inside their belongings. So I know what skinwalkers can do to a person. Now I know you're not supposed to go out and talk about Yanagloshis or speak about Yanagloshis, but unless you know how to handle them. So I've had a lot of encounters with skinwalkers growing up, from a little kid staying out at my great-grandmother's house to hearing them in the middle of the nights running out on a roof, knocking on the door, and copying our family members' voices from the outside to help draw us out. Now, these beings are very, very powerful to the normal person, but if you have the knowledge to be able to defend yourself against these monsters, you'll be alright. One of the biggest tools that these skinwalkers have against you is fear itself. Fear is their biggest tool that they have to be able to paralyze you, to gain control of you. And I know, middle of the night you're by yourself on the reservation, and out there in the darkness you see a figure stand up. You see a coyote stand up on its 2 feet.
Fuck
I know
that
it's
shit.
very terrifying. You got to be a very special person to not be terrified of that. But there's a lot of protections that you can use to be able to protect yourself in your home. Ash is one of the big things that you can use from a fire after you pray with it, after you put cedar down, to put on yourself and around your home as well. There's a lot of ceremonial objects that a lot of indigenous people have that they use in ceremonies that can be used to protect yourself in your home. Utilize these paraphernalia, utilize your jish to be able to protect yourself and your families out there. So, for everyone out there, if you see a TikTok video or a YouTube video about people talking about skinwalkers outside of the Navajo Nation, take it with a grain of salt. Because more than likely, it's similar to a skinwalker. It may be a shapeshifter. It may be, who knows, it might be a doppelganger out there, or even another spiritual being out there that can mimic voices. But if you see your poodle doing something weird and you live, all the way in Florida, New York, or Washington, D.C., it's probably not a skinwalker. It's probably your dog just being weird. Now, I know this video isn't going to stop everybody from making false claims about what skinwalkers actually are, Yanagloshis. But maybe you'll be able to use this video to bring some light into your eyes and to be a little bit more skeptical about things that you see on the internet. A lot of times I've just had enough, seeing too many TikTok videos, too many YouTube videos about people claiming to see skinwalkers or know the history when they actually never lived it, when they've never actually been to our nation, when they've never actually heard the stories from our own people. They just did a quick Google search. So everyone out there, be safe. Here's a quick story of a Yanagloshi. And there's going to be more stories, more adventures on my paranormal journey.
Oh,
This is
sweet
Shaun
story.
from Shaun
Nice.
Clyn Shadow Productions signing off. I'll go on it, everybody. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. And I'll go on it.
Oh, I thought they were going to do a story. Oh, okay. That was cool. Not much that I could possibly comment on there because that's not. This is their history and their secrets and their lore. I have heard before that that they don't talk about that kind of stuff outside the reservation, and there are particular reasons for it. But that was very interesting. Thank you very much, Shaun, Shadow Productions, for the lesson. All right. Let me know what you thought in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, and share. Be safe, happy, and healthy, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay. All right. That was pretty cool. I like learning stuff. And I like I like stuff that is real world. Knowledge, as well as something that is useful or entertaining, or just, like I said, I find it groovy. Next up, we have the Fallout Ashfall trailer. Oh, excuse me. This will be stream only. Let's check it out. Actually, you know what? No. Hold on. Yeah, and we'll just properly, because he worked real hard on it. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Josh, your humble host, and it is my duty to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror and sci-fi, and anything else that I think is groovy. Hope you'll enjoy tonight's offering. On with the show. Tonight, Fallout Ashfall, the trailer, by Cell Block Psycho. Go ahead and give him a sub. Let's boogie. That sub looks familiar. without the violence. Just wondering who these is. Just the military, leftover military, or sovereign lion patrolman, and something new in the sewers. Pirates. A electrified racket for the bugs. Electrified, and it had spikes on it, looks like. Look at that. Well, we know he's Enclave. Those are robot legs, though. He got robot legs. I wonder how much it cost him to get those robot legs. Wonder how long he's been thinking about getting the robot legs. Let me know what you thought and think about it in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah. So that's Fallout Ashfall. That's set in Hawaii. I wonder if you get all the islands or if it's just going to be the big island. That would be cool regardless. Next up, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette and stretch my legs real quick. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm probably going to make something to eat real quick too. Alright, foregoing the cigarette, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat first. Sorry, I don't want to talk with my mouth full. So next up, like I said before, is what happened to Shaun of the Dead. I love this movie. It's one of the greatest zombie films of all time. One of the better comedies of all time as well. It would be really funny if they did a Laurel and Hardy classic movie. I think that would be really funny. They do fit the part. They're a duo like that. Nick Frost and what's his name? Crap. You know what I'm talking about. The guy that was Scotty. Or yes. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Let's move on. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Josh, your humble host, and it is my duty, nay, my pleasure, to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror, and sci-fi, and anything else that I think is groovy. I hope you'll enjoy tonight's offering, which is What the Fuck Happened to Shaun of the Dead by Joe Blow Horror Original Videos, Joe Blow Horror Originals. It's a channel I've been watching for quite a while. I hope you enjoy. It should be fun because everyone loves Shaun of the Dead. Let's boogie.
Over the years, horror has evolved into many weird, wonderful, and gruesome as fuck genres. The 70s saw slashers emerge with films such as Prom Night and Halloween. Then by the 90s and beyond, the Scream franchise took on the horror mantle for slasher flicks. We've also been treated to classic monster movies that began with the likes of Frankenstein in 1931, to the sexy art house stylings of giallo horror, while splatter flicks, also known as torture porn, burst onto the scene in the brutal eye-gouging form of Hostel. While the supernatural also still play a major role in scaring audiences nowadays. Of course, these are just the tip of the spooky iceberg when it comes to the delightful smorgasbord of horror subgenres. And there's one that continues to thrill fans on both the small screen and theatrically, the zombie movie. However, up until 2004, the zombie genre had offered some amazing titles, but not any that managed to shoehorn as many unexpected genres as the movie we're talking about today. Thanks to a love of George A. Romero's classics, such as Night of the Living Dead, plus an episode of Spaced, director and huge horror fan Edgar Wright helped to spawn a whole new subgenre of horror, the romantic zombie comedy, or rom-zom-com, with 2004's Shaun of the Dead. It brought us a tale of slackers, family, zombies, a love triangle, and vinyl records being used as lethal weapons. But does it blend all of these elements into a gory, funny, and satisfying new subgenre? Let's find out here on What the Happened to Shaun of the Dead.
The Batman soundtrack. Throw it.
Before Edgar Wright entered the cultural zeitgeist with his Cornetto trilogy, starting of course, as we all know, with Shaun of the Dead, he helped to create a small screen love letter to horror and science fiction with the UK-made series Spaced. Starring Simon Pegg, Jessica Hines, Nick Frost, and directed by Edgar Wright, the episodic single-camera show is a hilarious love letter to pop culture, such as cartoons and video games, plus, more specifically, Star Wars and horror films. Simon Pegg and Jessica Hines, who was known as Jessica Stevenson at the time, play aspiring comic book artist Tim and writer Daisy respectively, who meet by chance in a cafe while flat hunting, and soon form an inseparable bond. Every episode of Spaced is designed with such passion for its influences, and the series writers inject superb sight gags and bizarre cutaways at every possible opportunity. Just take the Scooby-Doo moment from episode 1, for example, or when Tim is fired from his job at the local comic book store for berating a kid for liking Jar Jar Binks. He's also seen burning a Star Wars,
which I think is a reference to The Simpsons,
merchandise after just watching The Phantom Menace for the first time. It's these nods and winks to pop culture, and especially the zombie moment from episode 3, season 1, that led Spaced to ultimately inspire Shaun of the Dead. While playing Resident Evil 2, Tim fantasizes about killing zombies with familiar, non-diegetic zombie sounds. It's hilarious, and looking back on Shaun of the Dead, you can see the clear influence and love Pegg and Wright had for the genre, right there in that scene.
Heads up.
Okay, I'll get right to the point. Shaun of the Dead is awesome. It's funny as gory when it wants to be, and features endless quotable moments, all set to a banging soundtrack. Plus, Prince's Batman soundtrack gets deservedly smashed in one hilarious scene. Also, when it was released in 2004, British cinema was chucking out the likes of Sex Lives of the Potato Men, a so-called comedy featuring, you know what, it doesn't matter. It was atrocious, and despite the UK releasing some admittedly excellent movies that year...
You're fucking there, mate. So get in that car and fuck off.
Nothing revolutionary was happening for UK horror. Yet. Thankfully then, along came a wunderkind director who had already established himself with the aforementioned Spaced, and was primed and ready to unleash his unique visual style upon the cinematic landscape. Following that classic episode of Spaced, titled Art, in which Tim hallucinates a zombie invasion while high on amphetamines, Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright set about writing their own horror comedy, with Wright describing the process as, "One evening, I was round at Simon and his pal Nick Frost's flat for drinks when I said we should make our own zombie movie, a horror comedy. It would be from the point of view of two bit players, two idiots who were the last to know what was going on after waking up hungover on a Sunday morning. By 1999, they'd pitched the film to Film 4, who had to pass due to a lack of funding. Other companies passed on the movie, citing their confusion about what it was trying to be exactly, simply not getting what it was. Hindsight really is a wonderful thing. Ultimately, UK-based production company Working Title picked the movie up, which was somewhat ironic, given that the film mocks the rom-coms they were most well known for producing. However, Tim Bevan and Eric Fellner, two of the most prominent top brass at Working Title, are shrewd operators, and, along with producer Neera Park, they knew they had something potentially very special with Shaun. The script was written by both Simon Pegg and director Edgar Wright, and heavily influenced by movies such as Brain Dead, The Birds, Raising Arizona, Back to the Future, and, of course, Night of the Living Dead.
Heck yeah.
The cast was soon assembled, and alongside Simon Pegg was his longtime friend Nick Frost, who incidentally had never acted before, as Ed. and Kate Ashworth as Shaun's girlfriend Liz. Most of the actors were made up of British comedians, comedy actors, and sitcom stars from not only Spaced, but other shows such as Black Books and The Office. Rounding out the secondary roles were Peter Serafinovich, Dylan Moran, Martin Freeman, Tamsin Greig, Julia Deakin, plus Penelope Wilson as Shaun's mother, and the great Bill Nighy as his stepdad Philip. Also, for the zombie extras, the production called upon Spaced fan communities for the scene in which Shaun and friends are holed up in the Winchester pub, with the marauding undead outside. Over 150 zombie extras were used until local children saw the zombie makeup and pleaded to be involved, resulting in an extra 50 child zombies being added. However, despite being a firm favourite of mine, what's the verdict on the movie? 20 years after it first shuffled into cinemas,
still
demanding brains and dodging the Batman soundtrack. Well, it's safe to say that it still holds up as an all-time classic piece of not only British cinema and horror, but also as it was marketed at the time, as a rom-zom-com. Simon Pegg plays Shaun, a down-on-his-luck slacker who works in the local electrical store, shares a flat with his even lazier mate Ed in London's Crouch End, and likes a good old drink in his local pub. His girlfriend Liz has finally had enough and dumps him just as a plague hits Britain and the streets are filled with vicious, flesh-eating zombies. Not that Shaun notices at first though, as exemplified by the scene where he wanders past the living dead, on his way to buy a Cornetto and a Diet Coke from the local convenience store. Liz wants nothing more from Shaun other than to grow up and be a man, and while this seems initially impossible, once the gravity of the zombie infestation becomes apparent, he goes on a zombie-dodging quest to protect Liz at all costs. And his mother too. Some may have seen Shaun of the Dead as a parody, but instead, it pays homage to them with great affection. The opening section showcases Wright's clever cinematography and in-camera transitions, by showing several montages of Londoners going about their day, like zombies themselves. They're either glued to their phones, staring into space on the bus, or trudge about their daily existence while at work. It's a great bit of foreshadowing, and also a neat commentary on how we're all basically zombified in some way, just without a penchant for eating brains, that is. Ultimately, the movie works because every element of it is razor sharp. The comedy is spot on, and the script zings with endlessly quotable lines.
Can I get any of you a drink?
While the gore doesn't let the horror elements down, you can't help but have a massive cheesy grin on your face when the slimy prick David has his entrails ripped out.
Absolutely.
Or when Shaun, Liz and Ed face off against the zombies to Queen's classic
Do you know his
Don't Stop
girlfriend
Me Now.
survives? She
The
sleeps
fact
in a
that it
tree
plays out
overnight
like
and
a
makes it
feature-length
out.
episode of Spaced is also no bad thing. Shaun of the Dead opened in the UK on April the 9th and grossed upwards of $3 million over its opening weekend across 367 cinemas. It managed to hold out a top 10 spot in the UK for 5 consecutive weeks, while its US and Canadian release on September 24th saw it gross $3.3 million over its 3-day weekend across 607 theatres. Following a brief re-release in
Still trying to get
2020
rid of a
and
cold and
2022,
doing dabs
Shaun
doesn't
ultimately
help.
made $38.7 million worldwide against a budget of $6 million. Critically, the movie was met with much well-deserved praise. On Rotten Tomatoes, because, you know, some folk like to see the stats from that website, it holds a 92% fresh rating from 218 reviews, with the critics' consensus saying, Shaun of the Dead cleverly balances scares and witty satire, making for a bloody good zombie movie with loads of wit. In the UK, the BBC called it a side-splitting, head-smashing, gloriously gory horror comedy that will amuse casual viewers and delight genre fans. Similar gushing praise came from The Guardian, who awarded it 4 out of 5 stars, saying how it boasts a script crammed with real gags, and is pacefully directed and nicely acted. In the US, film critics Roger Ebert and Roger K. Elder praised the movie for bringing something new and refreshing to the horror genre overall. Ultimately then, Shaun of the Dead sets its stall out to be a loving homage to the sci-fi and horror movies that influenced Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. And it delivered in spades.
Yeah, absolutely.
It even made cricket bats cool again. Well, almost. Of course, it was just the beginning for Wright, Pegg and co, with 2 more movies in their Cornetto trilogy following, with the excellent
Such
Hot
great
Fuzz in
films.
2007 and the divisive The World's End in 2013. As usual though, it's your opinion that means the most to us here at Joe Blow. So what do you make of Shaun of the Dead? Does it successfully reinvent the horror genre, while also...
Shaun of the Dead is one of those movies that it's a comfort film for me. You know, like I can always sit down and watch this movie. It's like watching Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like it's always something that I'll watch. And it's like it's on the mind of everybody. Like, what would you do if you were in a zombie apocalypse? And this is what like yeah, this is probably what it would be like. Yeah.
Creating a new subgenre, or should it be chained up like Zombie Ed? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you
Zombie Ed's
beautiful
still cool.
gorehounds next time.
Ed. Yes. So that's what the fuck happened to Shaun of the Dead. I love this movie. Probably gonna watch it later on. Not tonight, tomorrow, sometime this week. Like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you thought about Shaun of the Dead in the comments. Was it a formative part of your movie career? Because it was mine. Like, subscribe, share. Be safe, happy, and healthy. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Now, I really am going to go smoke my cigarette because I've been sitting here for, we've been moving along quite well. Usually I waffle about a little bit more when the chat is more active. But we've gotten through 6 fairly quickly. And it's only midnight. Yeah, I'm gonna go stretch my legs. Smoke a cigarette and digest these 2 sandwiches I just put down, and I'll be right back. Oh, and we have one more to cover. The ghost ship of Lake Superior SCP-1174, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Like I talk about SCPs all the time. Eastside Show SCP is probably the first YouTuber that I ever learned about SCPs from. I found the wiki first, but as far as YouTube goes, it was Eastside Show Steve, Eastside Show SCP, Eastside Steve, I think is his name. We're gonna check out a new release from him, and it should be cool, especially for the horror lore nerds. You can also go to the wiki, the SCP wiki, and follow along with the document. He does that kind of thing, but we'll check it out when I come back. Hey, viewers, nice to see you. As soon as I get back, we're going to check out a new offering from Eastside Show SCP. It should be awesome. And I also have something from Full Moon Studios, some cool parodies. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. And also, if you've just joined us, we have like 6, 6 short films and trailers previously viewed on the show tonight. So go check those out while you're waiting. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Gnome Show After Dark. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for sticking around. Next up. Yeah. If you were here before I left, do not pay no mind to the cold open. This is for the YouTube video going out later on. So feel free to space out for a couple seconds. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Josh, your humble host, and it is my duty, nay, my pleasure, to trawl through the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shinies. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror and sci-fi, and anything else that I think is groovy. I hope that you'll enjoy tonight's offerings. Content for the blood god. On with the show, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we have Ghost Ships of Lake Superior. This one is SCP-1174, so if you'd like to follow along on the SCP Wiki, you may do so now.
Item number SCP-1174. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The Foundation is to liaise with the National Weather Service during SCP-1174-1's active season each year, and monitor the development of meteorological phenomena, which may contribute to onset of SCP-1174-1 events. Whenever weather conditions favorable to SCP-1174-1 exist,
Holy shit.
Foundation personnel embedded within the United States Coast Guard and the Canadian Coast Guard are to assist in monitoring radio communication from civilian vessels in the active region. For any reports of it,
I love ghost ships. Especially the real ones that pop up every so often. Like, even if there's nothing there, it's just like even if it's a dead floating vessel. Good boy. It's still creepy as fuck, and I love them because they're relics and nobody knows what happens or happened to them, or if they do, nobody's seen the ship for a long ass time. It's just been wandering around the ocean. Who knows what the fuck it's seen? Yeah.
SCP-1174-1 sightings. Civilians spotting SCP-1174-1 are to be instructed not to attempt to approach, communicate with, or render assistance to any instance of SCP-1174-1. The existence of SCP-1174-1-3 is attested to in ghost stories circulated by the general public. Foundation media assets are to limit public dissemination of sightings of SCP.
This is the one that was on the Great Lakes, right? The big one that disappeared, or one of them.
SCP-1174-1 instances.
Yeah, Lake Superior.
Subsequent to civilian sightings of any SCP-1174-1 instance.
And they also, like, I think it's a custom not to let anybody bother the sunken ships out there, their graveyards, and officially recognized as such.
The Foundation is to intercept the vessel making the sighting upon its docking, debrief its crew, and issue Class A amnestics. At O5 discretion, Foundation vessels, or U.S. Canadian Coast Guard vessels operated by a Foundation crew, may approach and follow instances of SCP-1174-1 for observation purposes. No vessel is to approach within 100 meters of any instance of SCP-1174-1. Following any shipwreck under conditions resembling an SCP-1174-1 incident, The Foundation is to locate the wreckage as soon as possible, and retrieve any instances of SCP-1174-2 found in the vicinity, where containment or termination is necessary.
Instances?
All
What do you
available
mean?
information about the wrecked vessel is to be cataloged for use in identifying potential new instances of SCP-1174-1. The Foundation is to monitor emergency calls and social networking for any indications of civilian encounters with SCP-1174-2. Any person reporting an SCP-1174-2 sighting is to be detained, debriefed, and treated with Class B amnestics. Any dead SCP-1174-2 instances found afloat or washing ashore are to be acquired by the Foundation and destroyed as soon as possible.
What for?
Authorization is granted to employ Emergency Procedure 248 October Bravo in the case of an information leak regarding SCP-1174-2. Captured instances of SCP-1174-2 are to be housed in modified containment cells, filled halfway with fresh water at a temperature of 2 degrees Celsius, and fed standard containee rations twice per day. Instances of SCP-1174-2 capable of communication may be granted euthanasia at their request, following a full debriefing. Description: SCP-1174 is a localized phenomenon occurring within Lake Superior, along the border between the United States and Canada, consisting of visual hallucinations of ships appearing during periods of inclement weather. Designated SCP-1174-1, and an unknown number of anomalous human beings associated with ships sinking after encountering SCP-1174-.
Associated with a ship sinking after encounter. Okay, so anything aboard a ship that comes in contact with SCP-1174-1, which are the ghost ships, become SCP-1174-2.
1, designated SCP-1174-2. Instances of SCP-1174-1 are capable of manifesting between October 1st and November 30th of each year. Most manifestations of SCP-1174-1 have occurred during November witch cyclone conditions, producing rain or snow and wind in excess of 95 km per hour. However, SCP-1174-1 can manifest at any time during the active season, when cloud cover and high winds are present. Instances of SCP-1174-1 are capable of movement at rates commensurate to that of the ship it resembles.
Okay.
It will appear and travel at no discernible heading along Lake Superior until such a time as weather conditions improve, whereupon SCP-1174-1 will vanish. In no case has any instance of SCP-1174-1 appeared in, or traveled to, any area less than approximately 5 kilometers from the American or Canadian mainland. There are currently 7 known instances of SCP-1174-1. 5 of the 7 have been conclusively identified as resembling vessels known to have been sunk in Lake Superior during SCP-1174-1's active season. SCP-1174-1-1, a fully rigged wooden warship of late 18th century construction, approximately 45 meters in length, flying the naval ensign of the United Kingdom, identity unknown. SCP-1174-1-2, a wooden schooner of mid-19th century construction, approximately 60 meters in length, identified as Lucerne, an ore carrier sunk in 1886. SCP-1174-1-3, a wooden steamship of late 19th century construction, approximately 75 meters in length, identified as the Bannockburn, a freighter sunk in 1902. SCP-1174-1-4, a steel-hulled, steam-powered warship of early 20th century construction, approximately 40 meters in length, identified as Sarasols, a French Navy minesweeper lost under unknown circumstances in 1918. SCP-1174-1-5.
Holy shit.
A steel-hulled steamship of early 20th century construction. Approximately 75 meters in length. Identity unknown. SCP-1174-1-6. A steel-hulled, oil-burning cargo ship of mid-20th century construction. Approximately 220 meters in length.
I mean, yep, that's what we know.
Identified as Edmund Fitzgerald. A freighter sunk in 1975. SCP-1174-1-7. A steel-hulled, diesel-engine patrol boat of early 21st century construction. Approximately 27 meters in length. Identified as SCP-S Irvine. A Foundation vessel sunk while investigating SCP-1174-1-6 in 2007. Testing has indicated that all instances of SCP-1174-1 are visual hallucinations and do not exist as corporeal entities. SCP-1174-1 vessels do not appear on radar or infrared imaging, and attempts to fire upon them have resulted in armament passing through the vessel without causing damage. Upon coming into visual range of any vessel traveling through Lake Superior, SCP-1174-1 will attempt to establish communication by means appropriate to the period and capabilities of the vessel appearing, including use of flags, signal lights, Morse code, firing of flares, and radio. In all cases where contact is made, SCP-1174-1 will claim to be in immediate danger of sinking, and will request that the vessel approach immediately to assist in evacuating its crew. In radio communication, the voice transmitted from SCP-1174-1 is always an adult male who identifies himself as a senior officer of the vessel requiring aid. Conclusive identification of the speaker with individuals known to have been aboard the vessels at time of sinking has not been made to date. Any vessels approaching within approximately 75 meters of an SCP-1174-1 vessel will suffer immediate and massive damage to their hull, resulting in the vessel sinking within minutes of approach.
So, so there, it's not a hallucination. Like, is it a cognito hazard, or like, is it just, are these real ghosts, or like what this is a little bit confusing if they're supposedly just hallucinations that they would suffer massive damage and it would sink right away. So what's hitting them?
Forensic analysis of recovered wrecks is inconsistent, indicating damage consistent with collisions, weapons fire, attacks from aquatic megafauna, and rust. In one instance, a vessel approaching SCP-1174-1-2 appears to have spontaneously capsized without suffering any other damage to its hull. SCP-1174-1-6 and SCP-1174-1-7 are known to have been sunk as a result of SCP-1174-1 contact. It is unknown whether the other instances of SCP-1174-1 sunk due to contact as well, or what form SCP-1174-1 phenomena may have taken prior to the appearance of SCP-1174-1-1.
So that the ancient ship was just like the first manifestation that we know of, documented?
SCP-1174-2 are human beings present aboard vessels sunk as a result of contact with SCP-1174-1. SCP-1174-2 individuals, rather than dying as a result of drowning or hypothermia, remain alive and conscious after submerging, and are capable of continuing to live for an undetermined period of time in the lower elevation of Lake Superior. Aside from tissue necrosis as the result of long-term exposure to water, SCP-1174-2 specimens displayed no unusual health problems as long as they remained submerged at a temperature of 1 to 5 degrees Celsius, and continued to show signs of age at a normal rate.
Really?
SCP-1174-2 individuals removed from the water or placed in a warmer environment will display symptoms of shock and or heat stroke, and typically die within 1 hour, if not return to cold water. SCP-1174-2 individuals in the wild often subsist on fish and aquatic flora. while some have been noted to attack divers or each other. This behavior appears to be rare and discouraged by the community. SCP-1174-2 individuals typically live in communities at or near the site of their shipwreck, and continue to possess full recollection of their lives prior to sinking.
What the fuck?
Most SCP-1174-2 individuals, unless suffering vocal cord damage as a result of their environment, retain the ability to speak and are capable of understanding each other while submerged. In interviews, captured SCP-1174-2 specimens have denied any explanation or knowledge of why or how they exist in their current state. There does not appear to be an upper limit on the length of time an SCP-1174-2 individual can remain alive in the absence of disease or natural hazards. The oldest known individual in captivity is a former crewman of the vessel DNC, currently 87 years of age, who became an instance of SCP-1174-2 upon that vessel sinking in 1957. The Foundation began formal study and containment of SCP-1174 in 1975, after investigating several claimed sightings of the Edmund Fitzgerald following its sinking in early November. Several former crew members of the vessel were discovered living in its wreck upon the first formal exploration thereof.
Oh,
in May
wow.
of the following year.
Can you imagine, like, just being a rescue diver and going down and or maybe not a rescue, but a diver working for the SCP, and to see these people just like living down there near the wreck of their shit, just you know, going about their business, but they got to stay down there or they die.
And were taken into Foundation custody. Foundation folklorists have since connected ghost ship legends regarding the Bannockburn to sightings of SCP-1174-1-3, and found references in Ojibwe folklore to a witch Gumi, which lures fishermen to their doom.
So it does sound sort of like this was at one time like a curse that was placed upon like maybe the waterway or an entity that's like that haunts the Lake Superior or something. It's kind of weird. The ship would just like capsize like immediately, just like boop, like a toy. Tipped over in a bathtub. It's kind of strange and crazy. Check out everything else that Eastside Show SCP has to offer. There's a lot there. He's been around for quite a long time, and I'm sure you'll enjoy his content. Let me know in the comments what you think. Everybody likes a good haunted ship story. So, yeah, let me know what you thought. Like, subscribe, and share, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe, happy, and healthy. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Yeah. He has all the stuff. He's got over 1,000 videos on SCPs. So I'm very sure that you'll find something that you're looking for. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to take a look at some of this stuff. Yep. All right, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I have a site that or channel that I just found recently called Full Moon Studios, and they make parodies and stuff. Literally what he says. So I already want to see the Legion of the Damned parody. Yeah, let's go look at that one first. Yeah, we'll do a spotlight on Full Moon Studios real quick. Yeah, I'll do these two. Well, yeah, I'll do these two. All right. One last ride, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. Welcome back to the Gnome Show, everyone. I am Josh, your humble host, and it is my duty to trawl the blind. It is my duty to trawl the briny depths of YouTube so that I may bring you the shining man. It's late. I cover short films of varying genres, video games, analog horror and sci-fi, and anything else I think is cool. I hope you'll enjoy tonight's offering. Content for the blood god. On with the show. Right now, I have Full Moon Studios, and I have two parody shorts for you. One is a Legion of the Damned parody, and the other is a Black Templar parody. So, let's boogie, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah. Fuck your Chaos Legion. We got Legion of the Damned, motherfucker. Yeah, see, yeah, like it'd be It's it'd be one thing with like some of the other Chaos Legions or some of the other legions that might interact with Stormtroopers, but the Legion of the Damned, they're only there for one reason. Mm-hmm.
All betrayers will burn.
Heck yeah.
What the fuck was that? When you said you were gonna tell me a war story, I was expecting another rant about how much you hate droids. Not a nightmare sequence of flaming spectral warriors slaughtering clones. And if they were ghostly entities, why did they need armor? That doesn't really make any sense. Never mind. Why were they so bent on killing you guys anyway?
They didn't seem to approve of Order 66 for some reason. Like they were really pissed about it. They didn't say much, but finding out about how we betrayed and killed our former comrades seemed to really tick them off.
Huh. So how'd you make it out?
Dunno. Last thing I remember was watching my brothers get fried. Pissing myself and passing out. Woke up sometime later still alive. Whoop-de-frickin-doo.
Aw, man, I'm sorry. Rough day.
Yeah, rough day.
See what I mean? And one more from him. Everybody should like this one. Oh no. Oh no.
Why are you doing this? All I wanted was to spread joy. Your words are wasted on me, witch. Our suspicions were correct, as we thought his beasts had no physical means of flight. Clearly that of the warp was at work here. The Emperor's judgment upon this filth was deserved. Very good, brother.
A little
they
harsh.
Didn't deserve to live in the Emperor's galaxy. I did find something else. He appears to have had in his possession a very long assortment of names. They appear to be names of citizens in something called the Naughty and Nice List. Intended for more heresy, no doubt. Look at this. It contains detailed information about this world's citizens. Even the most intimate, private aspects of their lives are here. Heresy. Only the Emperor may possess such omnipotence. What else was in this heretic's possession? Brother Zephyrus, have you found anything? Toys. What was that, brother? Toys. He was carrying toys. Toys? What kind of sick game was this witch playing at? Some dark ritual involving this world's youth? Even I shudder at the thought of what foul corruption was intended upon this world. Brother, what is that you're holding in your hands? A wooden sword. I can see that. Now tell me why you're holding it with such familiarity. When I was a boy, before becoming an aspirant, there was a saint entombed in my world, a great servant of the Emperor. In life he carried a divine sword, a beautiful blade. There was even a local craftsman that made wooden replicas. I always wanted one, and had hoped my mortal parents would get me one. They never did. Is there a reason you're telling us this story, brother?
Because he just got his sword.
An exact replica of that great saint's divine weapon. More trickery. Do not succumb to such obvious attempts at manipulation, brother.
I hope Santa gets back
It's
up.
even in the craftsman's style. What is this sentiment? I thought you were a Black Templar, not some sentimental soul. Easily tempted by nostalgia, you should probably speak with the chaplain when we return. Now, let's get this all secured. The Inquisition will want to examine the wreckage. No. Just burn it. Burn it all.
Wow. Well, merry belated Christmas. There is only war, no Santa. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, that was Full Moon Studios. Go on and check out his other stuff. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but it's quality stuff. He's got some good stuff here. Stuff. Leave your comments down below what you thought about this fine animation. Like, subscribe, and share. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. So this is everything I had planned for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is about 12:30 in the morning. I think I'm going to call it here. Quality over quantity. And I have work in the morning. And I still have the trash to take out, and I have adulting to do. So, I will see you guys tomorrow, probably in the late evening. But I will be here, probably playing some Fallout New Vegas, and preparing for Pacific Drive in the coming days. Actually, that is something that I wanted to do beforehand, or before we finished out tonight. We'll show you Pacific Drive because I'll be playing this on stream when it comes out. What do they have? There we go. We'll do this first.
Someone out there? They're from outside? They're a preacher?
So, another breacher, huh? How do you outsiders not understand that Arda didn't build that 300-meter wall out there for fun? We have to find you a way out.
I wish I could tell you what I saw. I wish I could put it into words. But most of all, I wish I could forget.
Could it be? A remnant? It can't be. There hasn't been one in decades. When we're all dead and gone, limb technology but a footnote in the history books, the anomalies will remain. They're the legacy of our work here, and the Olympic Peninsula belongs to them now. Look around.
Looks fucking
We're
fun as
stuck
hell.
here. For good. The remnants are like us in a way. Those of us who chose to stay behind, we are as discarded and forgotten as they are.
You and the car are inseparable now, so get acquainted.
Something special's going on beneath that hood.
Fuck yeah. Yep.
Initially, it was very much a personal thing. You know, I grew up driving station wagons around the Pacific Northwest. I would go camping, I'd go onto the beach, I'd go on road trips with friends, and as an adult, I decided to start doing that again. So I got an old station wagon and I started going out on these trips. But, I would go to abandoned industrial sites. I would go, taking the car up these tiny little dirt trails. And there was this vibe, this feeling of being out there in the woods with this old car. A very surreal experience. And that became, I think, the initial seed idea for the game. Pacific Drive is a run-based driving survival game. But when we started, we were very much just prototyping. We were getting the player into the car, having them drive around in the woods, and getting a feel of the space out there. What we quickly figured out is there's a lot of overlap between resource management and kind of plate juggling that you want in a good survival game, and taking care of a car, like making sure that you don't run out of gas and checking on your battery. It all eventually came to fruition with the garage, and us figuring out we wanted a safe space for the player to be the mechanic and to work on their car, and taking these excursions out into the zone where you're grabbing resources and exploring and then coming back and being able to do it again. In most survival games, there's a focus on the player and keeping them alive, but for Pacific Drive, we wanted to trim that on its head a bit and put the emphasis on the car. It's the thing that's going to keep you safe when you're out in the zone, but that's only true so long as you maintain it. The player can still take damage, but the car itself is a good deal more complicated. There's different slots that you can put different equipment into and customize your car, but things may happen to those parts. They may take wear and tear, they may get damaged and break or fall off, in which case you may have to craft replacement parts or scavenge for new things out in the zone. We really care about satisfying that fantasy of the player being a mechanic, just taking care of this car and maintaining it while they're on the road. It's important for us to do this because that interaction helps build the player's relationship with the car, and that's something that we care a lot about for the game. So the zone is a pretty isolating and lonely place. When you're out on the road, your car is your only real travel companion, and we wanted to make sure that players have the ability to build a personal connection with the car that is special to them. We've also doubled down on that with the physical interactions as well. So every time you want to start the car, you have to turn the key, you have to get the engine to start, you have to put it in park manually. We built the whole game with these systems in mind because we want to create effectively a sandbox for these different dynamic moments to occur.
Sometimes when I'm driving the car, I find I have to swerve suddenly just to get out of the way of a saw blade or an electrical anomaly, and then I'm on my side in the woods, and that's fine by me, because the first time I drove into the woods was as a teenager going about 40 miles an hour, but That's another story.
I spent an eternity climbing this super, super steep hill with my car. I finally got to the top, climb out of my car to get what I'm going after, and turn around, and there were broken bunnies just sticking all over it. They slammed on the gas and sent it barreling right back down the hill.
There was a time that I came around a corner and drifted too hard onto a cliff and rolled straight down the cliff and actually ran into a group of abductors, and one of them pulled me straight into the gateway, and I made a safe exit from there even though the storm was closing in.
I think the experience I'm looking forward to players having the most is gaining that sense of companionship with the car. And, sitting in the garage, looking at it, seeing all of these stories that have happened, the crazy escapes, the last-minute repair jobs, and really to feel like it's their car. I think that's going to be something really special.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. A nice little taste of what's coming in Pacific Drive. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next one.